Hey everyone, so we've all been blown away by models like ChatGPT, right? But what's the next big thing? Well, we are right on the edge of a huge shift, moving from AIs that learn from us to AIs that can finally start to teach themselves. Let's dive into how on earth that's even possible. To really get why this shift is so important, you have to start with a really fundamental problem. I mean, think about it. What happens when an AI has read the entire internet? When it's gone through every book, every article, every single piece of text we've ever created? Where does new knowledge even come from? And look, this isn't some abstract, far-off question. Meta's latest model, Llama 3, was trained on 15 trillion tokens. That's a number so big, it's hard to even wrap your head around. And that incredible hunger for information, well, it's starting to become unsustainable. So here's the bottom line. We are speeding towards what researchers call the data wall. It's basically a ceiling on performance, where just dumping in more of the same human-made data won't make the AI any smarter. It's kind of like trying to become a chess grandmaster by just rereading the rulebook over and over again. At some point, you need a totally new way to learn. And that brings us right to the solution, a completely new way of thinking about learning. Instead of just memorizing static data, what if an AI could learn from experience, the way humans do? What if it could actually create its own lessons? This new idea is called self-evolution. The core concept is that the model becomes its own teacher. It just autonomously creates new problems, tries to solve them, learns from its own mistakes, and refines its knowledge, all without a human looking over its shoulder. This right here is the key to smashing through that data wall. And the whole process works in this simple but really powerful loop. The AI generates a problem and a solution, it refines its approach, it actually updates its own code, and then it evaluates its new self before starting the whole cycle over again. It's just this constant, self-driven path to getting better and better. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this actually play out in the real world? Well, there's a fascinating new framework called R0 that shows us exactly how. It's a system that's designed to teach an AI how to reason using, and get this, zero human-labeled data. The genius of R0 is just how simple it is. You take one base AI model and you make two copies, a challenger and a solver. Think of it like a sparring match in a gym. The challenger's only job is to come up with problems that are perfectly difficult for the solver, right on the edge of what it can do. And the solver's job? Just keep getting better at solving them. They literally evolve together. So you might be wondering, how does the challenger know what a perfectly difficult problem even is? Well, here's the clever part. It gets rewarded for creating questions where the solver is the most uncertain, where its answers are all over the place and its accuracy is hovering right around 50%. This creates a perfectly customized curriculum. It's never too easy, never too hard. It is the absolute Goldilocks zone for learning. Okay, an AI sparring with itself to get smarter? I mean, it sounds incredible, almost like science fiction. But the billion-dollar question is still, does this actually make the AI a better reasoner? Let's take a look at the results. And the results are, well, they're staggering. For this one model, after just 3 rounds of this self-evolution loop, its overall reasoning score shot up from about 34.5 to nearly 39. That is a huge improvement, and it was all done with zero new data from the outside world. And this wasn't just a fluke. The pattern holds up across a bunch of different models and all sorts of benchmarks. With every single iteration of the R0 process, the performance just keeps climbing. The system is consistently learning and getting better, entirely on its own. But honestly, here's the most mind-blowing part. The R0 system was mostly trained by having the AI generate and solve math problems. But the reasoning skills it developed didn't just stay stuck in the world of math. No, they generalized, boosting the model's performance on really broad, general reasoning tests. It didn't just learn how to do math, it learned how to reason. So what does a breakthrough like this really mean for the future of AI? Well, it signals a huge pivot, away from just building bigger and bigger models, and toward building truly smarter, more adaptable ones. This quote from a recent survey paper just captures the significance of this perfectly. We are not just talking about another small improvement here. This is a fundamental shift toward AIs that are more dynamic, more robust, and, ultimately, way more intelligent. Now, of course, this new frontier comes with some huge new challenges. How does an AI learn new things without forgetting the old stuff? That's the stability versus plasticity dilemma. And how do we make sure these incredibly powerful self-learning systems stay aligned with human values? These are the really complex, really critical questions that researchers are trying to solve right now. So this all leaves us with one final fascinating question to think about. If an AI can truly teach itself anything, what is the very first thing we should ask it to learn?